Hello everybody, this is DJ Ty from agiprodj.com. Today we are bringing you kind of a personal review, overview video of the Numark NS7FX. The NS7FX is the NS7, and now Numark is adding the FX controller since Serato has added effects into the ITCH software. There's a ton of videos out there online already, overview of the NS7, its features, blah, blah, blah. We could go on forever. Why we shot this video today is that I want to share people my personal opinion of the unit. We get people that call us all the time, what do you think about this? Have you played with this? What's your experience? Coming from a guy that owns a DJM800, owns CDJs, owns Scratch Live, has used Scratch Live for 5 years. When this thing came out, I was kind of like, maybe not. Great theory, great piece of gear, built rock solid. There's nothing wrong with its physical construction, but to me, it just didn't appeal. And when the NS7FX started shipping, I forced myself to leave the Pioneers at home, and I took this out to the club for 2 weeks straight, played on it for 4 nights, 5.5-hour sets each night. I used my music, my laptop, and my library was completely compatible with ITCH. I didn't have to do anything to my music. I just plugged my drives in, I started up ITCH, and everything was there. And at first, I was kind of pissy. I didn't really like it. It was kind of like, this is different, it's not my Pioneers, these platters spin, it's not Scratch Live. And the more and more that I started using the hardware and was able to get into the power of having this cue system here and being able to delete my cues, and I never have to go to the laptop. I can delete my cue points, I can add cue points. I've got motorized platter, which I didn't even have on my Pioneers. I've got my key lock controls, I've got range of my pitch. I have pitch bend buttons, so in addition to being able to use your finger on the platter like you do with the 1200, and boy, that was weird because I haven't been able to do that in about 10 years. But it's just a fantastic piece of gear, and the more that I got to use the NS7FX, the more that I realized how powerful the Serato ITCH software is and what the power is of having a controller-based system that's integrated versus having CDJs and time code and then either having to go to the computer or go to a controller or having to even map a MIDI controller. So rather than having to bring all these extra pieces along like I did, and I still do, this is an all-in-one unit. It's got the effects controller, it's got the 2 turntables, it's got the mixer, it's got cue section, it's got loop section. You've got the ability to search through your tracks, so you don't even have to go to a mouse like you would with Scratch Live. You can scroll through the software. Set cue points. You have the ability to set loops, and there's actually 2 sets of loop controls. There's a manual mode, which lets me punch in and out a loop, and if you can scroll out so you can just catch the full part, Rick. So I've manually set a loop, and it's got a 1/2 times and a 2 times, which means I can chop the loop in half. And then you can have auto loop mode. So by pressing the mode button, it turns red. You can see it's labeled auto loop is red, manual is white. So we go into auto loop, and now, as you see here, it's got 1, 2, 4, and 8. I can do a manual 8, and now I've got an 8 loop bar set. And I can start cutting it in half using these keys. 4, 2, So just that section alone is like light years beyond using Scratch Live and a computer, because to do all that is a whole lot of time on your mouse, and you might as well just look like you're checking email or at your gig. So what you're able to do with Scratch Live and a MIDI controller, this is all built into the NS7FX. Again, the Q section, the loops, as well. You've got motorized platter, you've got controls, so you can actually control the time that it spins down and speeds up. You've got your sensor section, it'll go in reverse. Key-lock controls as well. And then the NSFX module as well. And we're going to go over some of the features of the NSFX module in a later video. But I'm here to say, guys, I'm a fan. I dig the unit. I was lucky enough to be able to take this one from agiprodj out to a gig and use it in the real world, and I was impressed. It's a very cool piece of hardware. I love my Pioneer, but this is a nice piece of gear. It sounds good, it sounds clean. I didn't have to make any major adjustments to the PA system between the setting that I have for my Pioneer rig versus the NS7. I was able to plug it in. It's got balanced outs. It's got a separate booth out like I mentioned, so it really was just kind of plug and play to use it in the club. I did have to use it with a separate Odyssey L stand, because these arms, the way the DJ booth was configured, this didn't fly at all, and these would have been sticking out on the dance floor and my laptop would have been toast. But you don't have to use the arms, you don't have to use the built-in laptop stand, and we're going to cover that in another video as well. So, the NS7FX, guys, it's a serious piece of equipment. It's not to be taken lightly. It's quality stuff. Numark has really stepped up its game, and I'm impressed. So, way to go, Numark. Way to go, Serato, guys. You guys knocked it out with this one. It's the NS7FX. I'm DJ Ty from agiprodj.com. Thanks for checking us out.